The picturesque setting of Vetlanda in Sweden comes alive to the sound of 500cc speedway machines as we stage the Swedish Championship of 1991. 16 of Sweden's top competitors take part, and only one at the end of 20 heats of speedway will become the 1991 Swedish Speedway champion. Well, there we see the current champion, of course, Tony Rickardsson, who's had such a fabulous season in 1991, finishing in second place, of course, in the Ullevi Stadium in Gothenburg recently. But before we take any more time, let's go straight into action with this final with heat number 1. So the full lineup for the opening race. Niklas Karlsson rides in red, Jörgen Johansson in blue, Peter Norlin, there he is in white in gate 3, and on the outside, gate number 4 is Tony Olsen. While it's still 500 cc's, clutch start, no brakes, something in the region of about 60 or 70 miles per hour, and 60 to 65 brake horsepower being produced. The sun's shining, the conditions are good. The green light now goes on, and the Swedish Speedway final gets underway, and Norlin gets a superb start from gate number 3. Peter Norlin leads, Tony Olsen in second place, and Niklas Karlsson T-bones Tony Olsen, who goes down onto the track. The red lights are on. We look across to see what the meeting referee is going to say about that. Let's take another look in slow motion. There we see Niklas Karlsson just about to clip the back of Tony Olsen's wheel, and down goes Tony. Niklas Karlsson manages to go on, but we see the red light is on, so the exclusion of Niklas Karlsson in heat number 1. So riders coming to the line then for the staging of heat number 1, the restart. Niklas Karlsson is still in, the referee says no exclusion. Jörgen Johansson still in blue, Peter Norlin in white. Thankfully Tony Olsen is okay to take his place in yellow and black. Extensive work done to his machine, but giving up and now coming out on his second bike for this ride. So we'll have to wait and see if that dents his concentration. It looks a nasty little tumble, and certainly not his own fault in that particular race. So gate 1, Niklas Karlsson, gate 2, Jörgen Johansson, gate 3, Peter Norlin, gate 4 is Tony Olsen. The restage, the rerun of heat number 1. We always knew the pace was going to be fast and furious, but we didn't even get to the second turn before the first race was stopped. Up go the tapes, the engines roar into action into that first turn they drive. This time it's Tony Olsen, and Peter Norlin drives around the outside of it yet again. So Norlin leads, Tony Olsen second place, Niklas Karlsson in third, and Jörgen Johansson back in fourth, and the sunshine and beats down as the accelerators are wound wide open. Nobody does it better than the cowboy from Eskilstuna, Peter Norlin. Superb season this young fella's had. 23 years of age. Of course, won the World Under-21 Championship back in 1988 in Czechoslovakia. Now settled in very, very nicely in England, and of course Poland, where he races. But certainly in control of the opening race here. Still Tony Olsen in second place. We've lost Niklas Karlsson, and Jörgen Johansson drift through peacefully to third place. But stretched out they may be, but coming round to take the easy win is going to be the rider in white from Eskilstuna. Norlin gets the flag. Second place Tony Olsen, and Jörgen Johansson back in third place. So there he is. Peter Norlin in the white helmet colour gets 3 points from heat number 1, and a good start too from the boy from Eskilstuna. Two points to Tony Olsen and 1 to Jörgen Johansson. That's the result of heat number 1.
Ja, där fick vi se Peter Norlin vinna på.
So the riders now out on the track and coming round to the start for heat number 2, which there in red is Henrik Gustafsson, 21 years of age, currently riding extremely well, both in Poland, Denmark, England, and of course Sweden. The full lineup for this race: Henrik Gustafsson red, and Dennis Lundqvist rides in blue from the tiny island of Gotland. Tony Rickardsson from Stockholm rides in white, and Bosse Aren rides in yellow black, also from Stockholm again. This is number 2. Up go the tapes, and into that first turn they drive in the first one to show. It is the rider in yellow and black. Bosse Aren leads, Henkel Gustafsson second, the rider in white, Rickardsson third. Look at Gustafsson drive underneath Bosse Aren, so Gustafsson heads it back. Now Rickardsson comes through to put pressure on him into second place. So Gustafsson leads. Gustafsson in pole position. Rickardsson second, Bossaren third. But just one drift wide by Bossaren and come through it gracefully. There's Henkel Gustafsson. You just can't afford to make a mistake with this young fellow around. Already Peter Nolin has dropped the track record here at Vetlanda, which was 64.8, and Peter has dropped that to 64.7. And Henrik Gustafsson now on the last lap of heat number 2 in commanding style. Down the back straight for the final time. The man who surely has got World Championship class on him in the future years. It's Gustafsson that takes the win. Second place is Tony Rickardsson. Third place is Bossaren. There he is. Henkel Gustafsson gets 3 points in his quest for this Swedish National Championship as he wins heat number 2. 2 points in second place for Tony Rickardsson and 1 to Bossaren in third place. The result of heat number 2. And we've just heard that good old Henrik Gustafsson has lowered the track record even more so. Now it stands at 64.1, so 0.7 of a second has already disappeared off of the track record, and we wonder what more surprises we've got in store for us. Heat number 3 also looks like being something of a difficult race. In red we've got Joachim Karlsson, just 19, one of the great prospects in the land of the midnight sun at the moment. In blue is Stefan Dano. In white is Peter Karlsson. And Jimmy Nilsson in yellow-black from Stockholm, of course, 4th in the world back in 86 and 87. And joint 5th just this season, of course, in the Ullevi Stadium recently. So bags of experience for Jimmy Nilsson. He goes into gate number 4. In gate 3 is Peter Karlsson, former Swedish champion, 89, he took the crown in Eskilstuna. Stefan Dano, he's in blue, gate 2, the younger brother of Roland Dano. And Joachim Karlsson, who rides for Vestervik in the Swedish Elite League, he goes into gate number 1. Right, there he is. Joachim Karlsson, who just next weekend appears in the World Under-21 Champion Final at Coventry in England. I'm sure he'll spring 1 or 2 surprises at Brandon Stadium on Sunday afternoon, by the time. It certainly is here in Vetlanda. It couldn't be any better. So there's the full lineup for this heat number 3. Starting Marshall getting just a little bit anxious for the riders to come to the line. And now settle. He's quite content. On goes the green light, up go the tapes, on those engines roar. It's Joachim Karlsson who gets there. Karlsson leads. Joachim Karlsson drives down the back straight in first place. Second in blue is Stefan Dano. Third in yellow and black, Jimmy Nilsson trying to come round the outside. Now cutting back. But it's Joachim Karlsson from Vestervik, the youngest rider in the field, who at the moment in time has a substantial lead in this one. Peter Karlsson through to second place in white. Jimmy Nilsson trailing at the moment. And Stefan Dano in third place, so really is going to be a great scalp for this 19-year-old if he can hold on. Joachim Karlsson still in first place with one more lap to go. Peter Karlsson in second place. Jimmy Nilsson coming through to third. Coming around the final 2 bends of quite an event for heat number 3, and this youngster, he's going to do it. Joachim Karlsson takes a win. Second place is Peter Karlsson. Third place is Jimmy Nilsson. So what a great start for this young 19-year-old from Vestervik. 3 points in his opening race here in Vetlanda. He takes a win in heat number 3. So heat number 4 sees Patrick Karlsson ride in red, Per Jonsson there in blue, of course, last year's World Individual Speedway champion. Eric Stenlund, may more note him for the ice racing exploits during the winter. Sadly not at the moment, but he's been, of course, twice world champion at that particular sport. And Klaus Iversen, the only Vetlanda rider in the field, he's in yellow-black. He goes into gate number 4. So Karlsson red, gate 1, Jonsson blue, gate 2, Stenlund white, gate 3, Klaus Iversen, yellow-black, he's in gate number 4. Oh, the tape through, and Jonsson made a terrific start from gate number 2. Seemed at one stage he was going to be left, but he's in pole position. So Jonsson leads from Eric Stenlund in second place. Patrick Olsen third, and Klaus Iversen, sadly for the just look at Patrick Olsen lip. And has Klaus Iversen come through? He has indeed. But really all eyes are on the man in first place, that's Per Jonsson. There's certainly no mistake in that style. It's a style that took him to that World Speedway Championship in 1990 at Bradford's Odsal Stadium. And who will ever forget that fabulous meeting that you saw live and exclusively here on Screen Sport. Second place is Erik Stenlund still, and third place Klaus Iversen. But it's Per Jonsson with one more lap to go. Really, it's fair to say he's surely got this race in the bag, barring any unforeseen problems. Stenlund still holding on to second place, and Klaus Iversen third. And round the final two bends, there's no mistaking the man who's going to get the win. Jonsson takes the flag. Second place is Erik Stenlund. In third place is Klaus Iversen. So there he is, Per Jonsson takes the win and gets 3 points as he looks for another Swedish title. Already got 3 in the bag, and he's looking for another one. There we see the faller, which is Patrick Carlson, and a close-up of exactly what happened, drifting down to earth with graceful ease. So there we are, a good start to the Swedish Championship. Join us for more action after the break. Welcome back to Vetlanda, where the pace has certainly been fast and furious, with the track record going twice already in the first 4 races, now standing at 64.1 with Henrik Gustafsson's superb ride in heat number 2. We move on to heat number 5, and Klaus Iversen taking 2 on the trot, he's in red. Nicholas Carlson comes in blue in gate 2. Henrik Gustafsson, there he is, the current track record holder, in gate 3 in white. Peter Carlson, yellow and black, in gate number 4. So, as it stands at the moment, only Gustafsson with the win from his first race. And for the tapes on heat number 5, and into that bend they drive, and it's the rider in red who's just got his nose in front. Klaus Iversen, but driving round him is Henrik Gustafsson. So Gustafsson leads in white. Klaus Iversen second, yellow and black. Peter Carlson having his own little battle, but now comes through to, and it looks as though Gustafsson got trouble. Gustafsson pulling up, and through comes the rider in red, Klaus Iversen. And it's fair to say the home crowd, Vetlanda, are cheering this manoeuvre. And Gustafsson is now overtaken by Nicholas Carlson as well. So sad news indeed for Henke. So Henke giving up the ghost in heat number 5, and surely, well, we have to say, dropping 3 points in your second outing has his Swedish title hopes gone for another year. But coming through to take pole position at the moment with 1 more lap to go is Klaus Iversen from, of course, the home club Vetlanda. Second place is Peter Carlson from Mariestad. Third place, Nicholas Carlson, also from Mariestad. And around the final bends, a relieved, and I'm sure thankful, rider Klaus Iversen comes up to take the win. Second place is Peter Carlson. Third place, Nicholas Carlson. But there he is, Klaus Iversen, who takes the win and looks delighted with life, and who can blame him? 3 points for a win in heat number 5. 2 to Peter Carlson and 1 to Nicholas Carlson. That's the result of heat number 5. So Henrik Gustafsson explaining to the cameraman that the valve is dropped on his machine, and that is, well, not almost certainly cost him the championship, but it certainly puts a lot of pressure on the young fella's shoulders in his final 3 rides. So we move on to heat number 6, which features Per Jonsson, previous heat winner, of course, in heat number 4. He rides in red. In blue, Joachim Karlsson, also winner of heat number 3. He rides in blue. Jörgen Johansson, he rides in white. And Tony Rickardsson in yellow and black in gate number 4. So quite a cracking racing prospect, and something got to give as the tapes rise on heat number 6. So Jonsson, he's been in this position before, of course. He won the title in Norrköping in '86, Gothenburg in '87, and Kumla in 1988. He certainly wasn't troubled in that last one in '88. And Joachim Karlsson certainly making a few people sit up and watch him. Let's see how he fares against the likes of Jonsson and Rickardsson. As the green light goes on for heat number 6, and away they spin from the start. And the first one to show is Jonsson, and coming across is Rickardsson. Rickardsson cuts across and takes the lead. So Rickardsson leads, Jonsson second. They're taken out by Joachim Karlsson. Karlsson goes a little bit wide as Jonsson comes through. Jonsson comes through to second place. So Tony Rickardsson leads. What a fabulous year this young fella's had. 21 years of age, of course, from Stockholm in the Swedish Elite League, and settling very, very nicely with Ipswich in the British League. And who will ever forget the exploits of this fella in the Ullevi Stadium? Probably, without question, the most entertaining rider in the World Final. That's taking nothing away from Yellow Peterson, who won it. But this young fella got most of his points from the back. As he takes the flag for one more lap in heat number 6. Still Jonsson second and Joachim Karlsson third. Down the back straight for the final time, and it's a win from the back. Round the first and second turn, he done it. Comes out, straightens up, takes a win. Rickardsson gets there. Second place is Per Jonsson. Third place, Joachim Karlsson. So Rickardsson, there he is, of course, the current Swedish champion. He takes the win in 3 points in heat 6. Jonsson drops his first point. He's on 5. And Joachim Karlsson gets 1 point and he's on 4. That's the result of heat number 6.
Rickardsson vinna heatet på tiden. Dessutom och gick under banrekordet då med 64,7.
Speedway final. Second down rides in red, and Patrick Carlson rides in number 7. Of course, the faller last time. Dennis Lundqvist rides in white, and Peter Nolin, winner and track record holder for one race here at Vetlanda. He rides in yellow-black, just giving a push away again. The engine stalling at the line. Peter sadly has been relegated to the Swedish League with his team as a student. He goes in the gate. 3 in white. Sorry, 4 yellow-black. This is heat number 6. Into that first run, they all drop. And it's a rider in white who's got there. Dennis Lundqvist just about picks up. Lundqvist now coming underneath him. It's Stefan Dano. So Stefan Dano and Lundqvist and Nolin all together. Just look at him go into that bend. It's just Lundqvist with his nose in front. Second place in red is Stefan Dano. Peter Nolin sadly relegated for third spot. But it was Dennis Lundqvist who kept his calm, kept his cool, and really was picked them off one at a time. What a great ride from the man from Gotland. So Dennis Lundqvist leads still from Stefan Dano in second place. Peter Nolin coming through on Stefan Dano to take second place, which is a good ride from him. So now Nolin moves into second place. Stefan Dano third with one more lap to go in a very, very entertaining heat number 7. And this fellow in white certainly has worked tremendously hard for these points. Round the final 2 bends, the man from Gotland, Dennis Lundqvist, comes out, he takes a win. Second place is Peter Nolin. Third place is Stefan Dano. So good win and courageous win there from Dennis Lundqvist in heat number 7. He gets the 3 points. 2 points to Peter Nolin. He now goes on to 5 after 2 outings, and 1 to Stefan Dano. That's the result of heat number 7. So heat number 8, Tony Olsen comes in red. Still on his second machine, his bent frame from that accident in heat number 1. Bosse Arain rides in blue, Jimmy Nilsson white, and Eric Stenland is in yellow and black. That's the lineup for heat number 8. Starting marshal calling it all into the line. Last one to come in is Eric Stenland. On goes the green light, the throttle is wide open, the clutch is dropped, and into that turn they all race, and it's just Tony Olsen who's got the lead. But as the rider in blue, Bosse Arain coming around the outside of him, but still Tony Olsen keeps his composure. Olsen's there. Bosse Arain in second place, Jimmy Nilsson third, and Eric Stenland fourth. Now, can Tony Olsen hold on? He's on his second machine, one he didn't think would go too well around the wide open spaces of Vetlanda. But Olsen still leads. Rides, of course, at the moment for Bellevue in England. Having a few turns out too in Poland as well. So coming through in white is Jimmy Nilsson in second place and Eric Stenland the third. But really it is a race sewn up in his pocket if he keeps out of trouble for Tony Olsen. One more lap to go. And this will put Tony Olsen on 5 points, and certainly in the thick of things after 2 rides. Round the final 2 bends, Tony Olsen, the Gotland punk as he's known in England, comes out to take the win. Olsen gets there. Second place is Jimmy Nilsson. Third place is Eric Stenland. So there he is, Tony Olsen gets the win. He moves swiftly on to 5 points. A good 3 points in heat number 8. 2 to Jimmy Nilsson and 1 to Eric Stenland. That's the result now. Just have a look at the scoreboard. Tony Rickardson, Peter Nolin, Tony Olsen and Per Jönsson, all on 5 and all dropped 1 point. Klaus Iversen, Joachim Karlsson and Peter Karlsson, they're all on 4 and dropped 2 points. And Gustafsson, Lufquist, Jimmy Nielsen and Stanlund, they're on 3 and have all dropped 3 points. That's the position after 2 outings for all the competitors here at Vetlanda. So certainly nobody's going to win this one on the 15-point maximum, that's for sure. As we move swiftly on to heat number 9, which features Tony Rickardson in red, who will be in gate number 1. Erik Stenlund coming out for 2 on the trot. He rides in blue in gate number 2. Nicholas Karlsson, he's in white in gate number 3. And Stefan Dano, yellow-black in gate number 4. So Rickardson, very, very impressive in his previous outing. Pushing Per Jönsson to the back in that one, so look out for him, but it's really going to be a question of whether he can maintain pole position into that first turn and withhold the pressure of the other riders coming around the outside of him. Drop the clutch and in they go to that first turn, and it's Erik Stenlund in blue who holds the lead at the moment. Stenlund leads, Rickardson second, Nicholas Karlsson third, so Erik Stenlund really picked up some tremendous drive as they left the start, but goes out terribly wide. Erik goes out wide and through comes Tony Rickardson. Comes up, just puts a bit of pressure on Erik, and out he goes. Stenlund made a terrible mistake on that third and fourth turn of the first lap, and you just can't afford to do that with the calibre of field here in Vetlanda. So Tony Rickardson leads. Erik Stenlund now in second place. Nicholas Karlsson third. Karlsson trying to make up ground on Erik Stenlund. Stefan Dano a long, long way back in fourth place. So one more lap to go in a very eventful heat number 9, which has seen Tony Rickardson yet again come from the back in superb style. Coming around the final 2 bends. Are we going to get a wheelie from him? No, it is Rickardson who gets the win. No wheelie. Stenlund in second place. And in third place is Nicholas Karlsson. So another good win for the rider there in red, Tony Rickardson, and he certainly wants to keep hold of that Swedish championship. There's no doubt whatsoever about that. He moves swiftly on to 8 points, and he's a winner of heat number 9. So heat number 10 as the riders come to the line. 4-1 is Jimmy Nielsen rides in red, and there we see in blue Henrik Gustafsson. And sadly Henrik dropping those 3 points, of course, with engine problems in his previous outing, heat number 5, which puts a lot of pressure on the boy from Kumla, who's just led Kumla to the Swedish Elite League Championship for the 2nd year. So congratulations on that one, Henrik. Patrick Karlsson rides in white, and Jörgen Johansson rides in yellow and black. So Jimmy Nielsen certainly not having the best of fortune so far, but here is perhaps a chance to get himself back into the thick of things on the point scoring chart. Nielsen, Gustafsson, Patrick Karlsson and Jörgen Johansson, heat number 10. Into that first bend they drives, and Jimmy Nielsen just got the drop on them. Jimmy Nielsen leads, takes out Gustafsson and got the lead at the moment. So Jimmy Nielsen has got pole position. Gustafsson is behind him. Patrick Karlsson is in third place, so 1 lap gone and Jimmy Nielsen leads. Henrik Gustafsson now taking the outside line. Gustafsson comes round the outside of Jimmy Nielsen in absolutely spectacular style. Gustafsson takes the lead. Jimmy Nielsen in second place. Patrick Karlsson, should I say, back in third place. But all eyes are on the first 2. Oh, what a superb ride from Henrik Gustafsson. This is why Sweden puts such a lot of faith on this young fella in future World Championships. 1 more lap to go in what so far has been an absolute classic speedway race. Taken for dead after half a lap of this race, coming from the back yet again in superb style. Round the final 2 bends. It's going to be a good win for Henrik Gustafsson who gets here. Jimmy Nielsen is in second place, and Patrick Karlsson is in third. And the applause from the crowd is ready for this fella. What a superb speedway race from him. So Henrik Gustafsson gets 3 points, he moves on to 6. 2 points to Jimmy Nielsen for second place, and 1 for Patrick Karlsson in third. But congratulations to Henrik Gustafsson, a good win in heat number 10. So there we see Nicholas Karlsson just explaining 1 or 2 things to the fans about his machine, who he didn't look very happy in his previous ride, so perhaps he's got some mechanical problems. We'll find out at the interval stage for you here in Vetlanda. We move sweetly on to heat number 11, which sees Bosse Arén ride in red, Peter Carlson blue, Peter Nolin white, and Per Jonsson in yellow and black, and this is going to be a real cracker. The green light goes on, the tapes rise, and those engines drive into action, and it's the rider in blue, Peter Carlson, who gets there. Carlson takes the lead. Nolin is second place, and Jonsson third, which is perhaps a little bit of a surprise. Jonsson trying to come round the outside of Peter Nolin. It's terribly close between those two. But Peter Carlson is given just a little bit more breathing space. It's Nolin and Jonsson fight between them. So Peter Carlson leads. Nolin now comes through easily to second place with Jonsson third. 2 laps gone, and now can Nolin make up any ground on Peter Carlson? And certainly Peter Carlson's not going to be out of things here in Vetlanda. Peter Carlson coming round in superb style. 1 more lap to go, and he's looking set for another win. Peter Carlson leads. Still Peter Nolin in second place, and Per Jonsson third. But around the final 2 bends of another cracking speedway race, it's Peter Carlson who gets there. Second place is Peter Nolin. In third place is Per Jonsson, and just everybody is beating everybody this afternoon. And one wonders what the total is going to be for the winner here at Vetlanda. But Peter Carlson gets 3 points and a good win for him. Peter Nolin gets 2, and Per Jonsson has to be content with just 1 point. But a good win for Peter Carlson in heat number 11. So we move swiftly on to heat number 12, the race before the interval stage here at Vetlanda. Klaus Iversen red, and he's riding superbly well. Tony Olsen, so he's going well, he's in blue. Joachim Karlsson, the surprise merchant from Vestavik, he rides in white. And Dennis Lofquist, a good winner from the back in his previous outing. This yet again promises to be one hell of a speedway race. The action is fast and furious, and the cameras of Screen Sport are always there to bring you the best possible action when it's on 2 wheels. This is heat number 12. Up go the tapes. The first one going into that turn is the rider in red, which is Klaus Iversen, who pushes the pack wide out. So Klaus Iversen heads down the back straight. Now coming through is Tony Olsen in blue, and coming around the outside is Dennis Lofquist. Dennis Lofquist going very, very wide indeed. Comes through again, it's Klaus Iversen. It's all changed, and Joachim Karlsson comes through to second place. Well, the positions have changed so many times in these first 2 laps of heat number 12. It's just a job to keep track of it. It's Klaus Iversen that leads, and you can tell by the noise from the Vetlanda crowd. Joachim Karlsson moves sweetly into second place. Olsen and Lofquist try desperately hard to get through. But with 1 more lap to go, is Klaus Iversen still holding them at bay. Second place, Joachim Karlsson, Tony Olsen in third, and Dennis Lofquist, who tried so desperately hard on that first lap, still in fourth place. But coming around the final 2 bends, coming out to take the win, it's Klaus Iversen that gets there. Joachim Karlsson in second place, and Tony Olsen third, and Klaus Iversen got every right to be pleased with himself. A good win, and from the back as well. Well, let's take a look at the interval stage, and Tony Rickardson is on 8 points, just dropped 1 point. Klaus Iversen, Peter Nolin and Peter Carlson, they both dropped 2 points, they're on 7. And dropping 3 points is Henrik Gustafsson, Tony Olsen, Per Jonsson and Joachim Karlsson. And what a good outing it is for him, considering just 19 years of age. So there we are, that's the position, the interval stage here at Vetlanda. Join us for more Speedway after the break. So welcome back to Vetlanda, and there we see Connie Iversen with his brother. Connie's sadly out of the injury at the moment with a broken collarbone. Just having a few words with his brother, who's doing exceptionally well here at Vetlanda. We move swiftly on to heat number 13, which sees Dennis Lofquist riding in red, Jimmy Nilsson blue, Per Jonsson white on a reserve outing, replacing Nicholas Carlson for Christo Rollin from Kumla. And the second half of tonight's meeting gets underway. And the first rider to show is in blue, which is Jimmy Nilsson. So Jimmy Nilsson leads in blue, Per Jonsson in white coming round the outside of Dennis Lofquist. So Jimmy Nilsson leads, Jonsson in second place, Lofquist third in that order, Christo Rollin fourth. But 1 lap gone is Jimmy Nilsson, who's looking for his first win here in the Swedish final. Per Jonsson in second place. Dennis Lofquist third. And these two, Nielsen and Jonsson, done so much for Swedish Speedway in recent years. And all of a sudden it's getting close there. Nielsen looks over his shoulder, knows that Jonsson is right behind him, there's no doubt about that. Trying the outside line, winding the throttle wide open. Nielsen going out wide. Jonsson cuts back on the inside of him as he got the speed. One more lap to go and Jonsson moves swiftly through to first place. Jimmy Nielsen second. Dennis Lofquist third. And the former world champion just showing the calibre that we all know he's capable of. Coming round to take the win, it's Jonsson that gets there. Jimmy Nielsen in second place. And Dennis Lofquist back in third. So there we are, Per Jonsson getting 3 points from the first race after the interval stage here in Vetlanda. So Per Jonsson gets 3, 2 for Jimmy Nielsen and 1 for Dennis Lofquist. Let's take another look at that action, that manoeuvre from Jonsson from the inside of the track. Nielsen just lifts slightly, locks up. Jonsson seizes his opportunity, gets the two wheels in line, drives up the inside of Jimmy Nielsen, and from that moment onwards, the 3 points were his. So heat number 14, which sees Jørgen Johansson ride in red, Klaus Iversen rides in blue, and Klaus looking for some more points here, and he's doing very, very well for Vetlanda tonight. Bosse Arén rides in white, and Stefan Dano yellow and black. So dare we say that Klaus Iversen should be in the thick of things in this one. Nothing's certain in Speedway, because it's a funny old game, you know. So the riders lining up then for heat number 14. The green light goes on, the tapes rise, the engines roar, and into that bend they go, but it's Klaus Iversen that's there. Iversen's got his nose in front. Second place in red, Jørgen Johansson. Stefan Dano third. And sadly for old Bosse Arén, who's back over with. Poor Stefan Dano goes very, very wide, and Bosse Arén comes through with considerable ease. But it's Klaus Iversen, to the delight of the Vetlanda followers, who's looking set for 3 more points. So Klaus Iversen looks over his shoulder, sees that Jørgen Johansson is behind him, but he's got breathing space, he's got time. Don't do nothing silly. Iversen was a winner of heat number 12, and it looks as though 2 races later, he's going to get another 3 points. Klaus Iversen with just 1 more lap to go in heat number 14. Still it is Jørgen Johansson second, and Bosse Arén in third. Around the final 2 bends, and the Vetlanda crowd are giving him the encouragement he deserves as Iversen gets there. Second place, Jørgen Johansson. Third place, Bosse Arén. And there he is, punching the air with delight, and who can blame him? Another 3 valuable points for him. He moves swiftly on now, and while it's fair to say he's still got a great chance of lifting this Swedish title as he wins heat number 14. So heat 15 there in red is Erik Stenlund. Of course, double world ice racing champion, as we already told you, rides to Halstavik in the Swedish Elite League, and also having a little bit of a dabble with long track racing over the past couple of seasons. Peter Nolin rides in blue, of course from Eskilstuna, former world under-21 champion, took that title in Czechoslovakia back in 1988. Joachim Karlsson, he rides in white, rides for Vestavik, and as I've already told you, he'll be coming to England next week to appear in the world under-21 Speedway final at Coventry's Brandon Stadium. And Henrik Gustafsson from Kumla, you just need to tell you that this is heat number 15. Into that bend they drive, and it's Peter Nolin who's just got his nose in front. Nolin, Gustafsson on the outside, Stenlund there as well. And Joachim Karlsson comes underneath both Stenlund and Gustafsson. What a tremendous ride from him. But it's Peter Nolin that leads, which is more importantly than ever for him. Second place still, Joachim Karlsson. Henrik Gustafsson third. And Peter Nolin really now has got a lot of distance between him and Joachim Karlsson. And the cowboy from Eskilstuna is doing very, very nicely in his quest for a Speedway honour in his home country. And he's always rated Vetlanda as one of his favourite tracks. And we can see why, Peter. Second place, Joachim Karlsson still. And Henrik Gustafsson, it just doesn't look as though he's going to produce anything at the back of this one. So we're on the final lap of heat number 15. And Peter Nolin set for 3 more points. Driving round the 3rd and 4th turn of lap 4, And it's Nolling that gets there. Second place is Joachim Karlsson, who beats Henkel Gustafsson, which is a good scout for him. But it's Peter Nolling who gets back to winning ways, and 3 valuable points as he takes the checkered flag in heat number 15. 2 points to Joachim Karlsson and 1 to Henrik Gustafsson. But Peter Nolling, a very convincing winner of heat number 15. So there he is, going back in the pits, no doubt a very, very pleased young man. Getting the pats on the back from his colleagues in the pits. And he's tucked in very, very nicely now with just one more outing to go here in the Swedish final. And still a lot of questions to answer as we look at the Swedish national flag, and we move swiftly on to heat number 16, which sees Peter Karlsson there in red. He goes into gate number 1. Gate 2 is Tony Rickardsson. Just dropped 1 point, currently on 8. He's in blue in gate 2. Tony Olsen, white, gate 3. And Patrick Karlsson, yellow and black, gate 4. So, somebody's got to beat Tony Rickardsson if they want to get Peter Nolling and a few others through. So a few runoffs here in Vetlanda, and that's what the crowd want. The action to stay fast and furious. This is heat 16. Into that first turn, those 4 boys locked together, they literally are. And Peter Karlsson just gets his nose in front. So Peter Karlsson at his leads. Second place in white is Tony Olsen, and Rickardsson is left for dead at the moment, having to fight with Patrick Karlsson, and Rickardsson comes through to third place. So this is just what the doctor ordered, if you don't mind me saying so, Tony, because somebody had to drop some points, and it looks so Rickardsson's going to do it. Peter Karlsson leads, Tony Olsen second, Tony Rickardsson third. 2 laps gone. And Peter Karlsson, who goes back into the Swedish army on Monday to complete his national service, which all the youngsters still have to do in Sweden, is looking pretty good here in Vetlanda, and certainly not out of things. We're on the final lap of heat number 16. And then we'll have a look at the old scoreboard and see what the position is, but it's getting very, very close out there. Rickardsson's dropped some more points. Coming around to take the win is Peter Karlsson that wins. Second place, Tony Olsen. And Tony Rickardsson dropping 2 more points, and he has to be content with third place. So Peter Karlsson gets 3 points. 2 to Tony Olsen and 1 to Tony Rickardsson. But a good win for Peter Karlsson in heat number 16. So all the riders now had 4 outings here in Vetlanda, and it's time to have a look at the scoreboard. And a very, very interesting position it is too. Klaus Iversen, Peter Nolling and Peter Karlsson all on 10 points and dropped 2 points each. Tony Rickardsson and Per Jonsson, they both dropped 3, they're on 9. Join us for the conclusion of this final after break. So welcome back to the conclusion of this 1991 Speedway final from Sweden, of course, where a lot of questions have still got to be answered as we move swiftly on to heat number 17, which sees Michael Turnberg coming for a reserve outing, replacing Nicholas Karlsson. Boss Oren blue, Patrick Karlsson in white, and Joachim Karlsson in yellow and black, and drive from the start it is Boss Oren who leads, but Joachim Karlsson trying to come around the outside of him, can't do it on that particular bend. So it is the reserve, Mikael Turnberg, who's setting the pace in heat number 17 and saying, I just wish I'd have been in this meeting beforehand. Joachim Karlsson in second place, Patrick Karlsson in third. And really it is fair to say a reserve coming out stone cold is doing exceptionally well here in heat number 17. But so many questions still to be answered here in this Swedish Speedway final. As always, the cameras of Hot Shots Transmission and TV Media bringing you the best possible coverage here on Screen Sport. And this is one of the epics of the Speedway calendar. The Swedish Speedway final from Vetlanda is Mikael Turnberg still holds on to pole position. Joachim Karlsson in second place, but not making up any more ground, which will mean that he will end this final on 10 points. And at 19 years of age, that's quite creditable indeed. But coming to take the win is Turnberg that wins. Joachim Karlsson in second place, Patrick Karlsson third. But there he is, Mikael Turnberg from Halstavik, who gets the 3 points as he wins that particular outing, and congratulations to him. And second place, of course, was Joachim Karlsson, the 19-year-old from Västervik. So heat number 18, and this one is yet again where some questions are going to be answered. Peter Karlsson is in red, Jörgen Johansson blue, Dennis Lufqvist white, and Eric Stenlund in yellow and black. if Peter Carlson wins this one, it will mean that he will at least going to a runoff for the Swedish title of 1991. Only Peter Norlin and Klaus Iversen can join him on that total, but they will still have it to do. So Peter Carlson, a lot of pressure on his shoulders. He's won the title in 1989 in Eskilstuna. He's in red in gate number 1. Johansson blue, gate 2. Lufquist white, gate 3. Stenlund on the outside, but it is Carlson who's got there. Peter Carlson into that second turn and out of it in pole position. Jörgen Johansson second, Erik Stenlund third. But all eyes are on the man in pole position at the moment from, of course, Mariestad. Had a brief spell with Wolverhampton in the Sunbright League. But coming round the third and fourth turn here in Vetlanda, looking in control of things. And for Peter Norlin and Klaus Iversen in the pits, they know they've got it all to do now. Peter Carlson still in pole position. Jörgen Johansson second. Erik Stenlund third in that order. And Peter Carlson with the bit between his teeth now as we enter the final lap of heat number 18. This will mean that the Partick-sponsored rider from Mariestad will end up on 13 points. Round the final two bends. Straightens up that machine, comes out, it's Carlson who wins. Second place is Jörgen Johansson. Third place is Erik Stenlund. So there he is, Peter Carlson, who knows at least he's going to have one more outing. If they drop points, then he is the Swedish champion. It's quite as easy as that. But all the pressure now are on Peter Norlin and Klaus Iversen to win their final outings to see if they can get in a run-off. Well, there he is, one of those riders who knows exactly what he's got to do. John Cook, of course, the American Speedway ace, is in the pits with him, giving him advice. But the advice is simply to win this one, Peter. He's in red. Jimmy Nielsen is in blue. There's the other fellow who's got to win as well, Klaus Iversen. And just look at the opposition, Tony Rickardson as well, who has also got to get into the frame to try and, the point should I say, to get into the frame. It's so complicated, but for the rider in red and white in particular, they know they've got to win this one to get in the runoff for the title. And the clutches are dropped, and into that first turn they all drive, and it's Norlin and Iversen together. Iversen on the outside, Norlin on the inside, and Norlin's just got the drop on Iversen. So Peter Norlin's there. Klaus Iversen trying to come round the outside of him. As Norlin lifts up terribly, and Klaus Iversen now cuts back on the inside. What a speedway race this is turning out to be. Norlin leads, Iversen second, Rickardson third, and Jimmy Nielsen fourth. But the cowboy from Eskilstuna has kept his cool, kept his composure. Klaus Iversen was there and thereabouts for a lap and a half, but now Norlin beginning to pull clear. But Klaus Iversen coming under pressure from Tony Rickardson for minor placings. Rickardson taking the inside line with one more lap to go. Well, barring any problems, it's going to be a run-off now for pole position between Peter Carlson and Peter Norlin. Klaus Iversen in second place in this heat, but coming around the final two bends, and there's going to be a run-off for the title as Norlin gets there. Second place is Klaus Iversen. Third place is Tony Rickardson. So Peter Norlin gets the win he so badly needed. And Peter Carlson and Peter Norlin are going to have a run-off for the 1991 Swedish Speedway title. But Peter Norlin gets a good win in heat number 90. So the final heat, heat number 20, although we now know we've got to have a run-off for the championship. This one is Henkel Gustafsson in red, Per Jonsson blue, Stefan Dano in white, and Tony Olsson is in yellow and black. And just to muck things up, if Per Jonsson gets a win in this one, it will mean there'll also be a run-off between him and Klaus Iversen for the bronze medal. So this is heat number 20. On goes the green light, up go the tapes to the engines roar, and it's the rider in yellow and black, Tony Olsson, who's there. Yellow and black, Tony Olsson's got there. Second place is Henrik Gustafsson, but Per Jonsson comes around the outside of Henrik Gustafsson. So Olsson leads, Jonsson in second place. Olsson really has rode superbly well here at Vetlanda, considering he had that fall on the second turn of the opening race. Jonsson in second place, Gustafsson third. But Tony Olsson, of course, from the tiny island of Gotland, but just look at Jonsson now, coming up to mount his challenge. 2 laps gone, and Jonsson moves swiftly up the inside of Tony Olsson. Olsen drops it on him, still there in pole position. Great scrap for the connoisseur of speedway racing. It's now Henrik Gustafsson comes back into the fray. We've got one more lap to go in heat number 20. And Jönsson now tries the outside line on Tony Olsen. Olsen still leads. Jönsson now comes up alongside it and takes the lead. Jönsson's through. Per Jönsson, the former world champion, comes through from nowhere to take the win and force a run-off from the bronze medal position. Well, talk about leaving it to the last minute. Tony Olsen shows his appreciation as a sportsman we all know he is. He gets the 2 points for finishing in second place. And Henrik Gustafsson has to be content with third place. So Per Jönsson gets a win, and that means now there'll be 2 runoffs. Here is the old wave goes around Vetlanda Stadium. And even the old Swedes join in with the fun. So 2 runoffs. And here's the first one of them, the runoff for the bronze medal position. Per Jönsson rides in red, and Klaus Iversen rides in white. That's for the bronze medal position, with both riders ending up on 12 points. So Klaus Iversen, of course, the younger brother of Connie Iversen, who's with him in the pits with a broken collarbone, and to be fair, nobody gave him much chance in this final, but he's rode superbly well to end up on 12 points. So this is the runoff for the bronze medal position as the tapes rise and the engine's driving to that first turn. And Jönsson on the inside, Iversen on the outside. And who's going to get the initiative down the back straight? It's just Jönsson who got there. So Jönsson leads. Iversen in second place. And Per Jönsson, who was so bitterly disappointed after the world final, where he relinquished that crown, of course, to Janno Petersen at the Ullevi Stadium. Second place is Klaus Iversen, who would dearly have loved to go on the rostrum, but looks as though he's going to have to be content with 4th place, which I'm sure before the meeting at the start he'd have been well pleased with. So Per Jönsson looking set to be in the frame for his 6th consecutive year of Swedish Speedway finals. Jönsson was a winner in 86, 87 and 88, and in 3rd place in 89, 90 and 91. So now the quest for title boils to fever pitch. All that's gone on beforehand means nothing. It's the next 4 laps of Speedway action which will determine who will become the 1991 Speedway champion of Sweden. Peter Karlsson rides in red, Peter Norlin in white, both riders tying on 13. This is a dramatic runoff for the title. And it's Norlin from the outside who's got there. Norlin's got there. Karlsson drives him wide, though Karlsson gets underneath him. So Peter Karlsson takes the lead. Norlin in second place. So Peter Karlsson from Mariestad is in pole position with 1 lap gone. Peter Norlin from Eskilstuna in second place. And Peter Karlsson, of course, won that title in 89 in Eskilstuna, also in a runoff. That time he beat Mikael Blitz after both riders had tied yet again. And this time it looks like Peter Karlsson's going to get another win after a dramatic runoff. So Lady Luck shines for Peter Karlsson in runoffs, and he rode superbly well this evening. Peter Karlsson coming round to take the crown of the 1991 Swedish Speedway Championship. And just look at the officials here at Vetlanda, throwing him in the air, and so richly deserved. Second place goes to Peter Norlin. Congratulations to him as well for providing some great action. Per Jönsson takes the bronze medal on 12 points. Well, that too is after a runoff with Klaus Iversen, who can feel a very, very proud rider indeed. He ended up also on 12. Tony Rickardsson, Joachim Karlsson, what a tremendous performance by him. Just 19 years of age on 10 points, along with Tony Olsen. Enga Gustafsson on 8 and Jimmy Nielsen 7. Erik Stenlund on 6, Jörgen Johansson on 5, Dennis Lufquist 4, Boss Oren on 2, Patrick Karlsson on 2, and Nicholas Karlsson on 2, and Stefan Dano not having things all his own way, ending up on 1 point. So on behalf of Tommy Randers and Transmission and TV Media, this is Clive Fisher saying, hope you've enjoyed the 1991 Speedway final from Vetlanda, and it's good night from Sweden.